General Motors and the United Auto Workers held more talks today trying to settle strikes that have crippled the giant car maker. A lot is at stake here for both sides. So in tonight's Eye on America, we want to take you to the heart of the trouble, which CBS's Frank Courier found not in Detroit, but south of the border.
There's no sign of labor unrest in Juarez, Mexico. Just across the sun-baked border from El Paso, GM employees are working assembly lines, not walking picket lines. With more than 50 parts plants here, General Motors Delphi is Mexico's largest private employer, and its 72,000 workers couldn't be happier.
Every day I thank God that I have this job, and I ask God to help me continue in this job and to keep on with it.
Dora Alvidrez inspects auto electrical components at this Juarez parts factory. Here, GM argues productivity is high and the cost of doing business low. Here, employee profiles are in sharp contrast to U.S. auto workers. In Mexico, they earn an average $2 an hour, are mostly under 21, non-union, and cross-trained to do at least 4 different jobs. An average $2 an hour here at the GM Delphi plant doesn't sound like much in the U.S., but in Mexico, where the average minimum wage is only 40 cents an hour, these jobs at General Motors are among the most sought after in the country.
Here in Mexico, a different country and a different economy.
Michael Hissam, a GM Delphi executive, thinks striking auto workers should accept their Mexican counterparts as North American partners.
This is no longer a U.S. versus Mexico or an El Paso versus Juarez type situation. We're in 37 countries around the world. We're competing in a global marketplace. We've been here for 20 years now. We've been using billions and billions of U.S.-built components over those 20 years.
The industry calls it shared production, moving millions of parts a day between U.S. factories to Mexican assembly plants. The UAW calls it outsourcing and responsible for thousands of American jobs lost. But America's loss is Dora Alvidrez's gain. Because of GM Delphi, she's been able to move into a neighborhood built by the company and the Mexican government. Today, she pays an $80 monthly mortgage with her husband for a modest house.
This house is under my own name, and that has been because of my own efforts. I have never missed a day in the job.
Jobs to Mexico. It's what the UAW calls putting America last. But GM sees it as the key to survival, a competitive edge for reclaiming lost shares in a global economy. In Juarez, Mexico, Frank Courier for Eye on America.